Okay, you do consultations, and every now and then you have a consultation where you feel drained. You are exhausted talking to this person, even before you sign them on as a client. In fact, maybe you had some red flags and hints and you signed them on anyway. Or someone where there was so much back and forth before they engaged your services, and you questioned whether this client was really going to be worth your time. Anyway, small mistakes like this happen over and over again for accounting firm owners during consultations. And when they do happen, they end up costing you energy, they take more time than expected, and they also affect your revenues. So this is Warren Fogelman with Business Success Solution, showing accounting firm owners how to be able to double their revenue working half the time. And that is why I want to talk about 5 consultation mistakes, whether you're an accountant, a bookkeeper, a tax preparer, and how to be able to avoid them. Because if you are able to start actually pre-qualifying clients before you speak with them, before they land on your calendar, you're going to end up engaging better clients and it will boost your profits. So let's just dive in right here. Now, we're going to start with mistake 1. The very first one is what's called the pricing trap. This is where you talk about the money either too soon or too late, either end of the spectrum, as opposed to in the sweet spot where it is just right. So the very first thing is that you're meeting with someone, they're telling you about what's going on. You know you can help them. You love helping your clients. And as a result of that, you're talking about the cost of investing in your services at the wrong moment. So I want to let you know that when you talk about it too soon, then it actually can scare some clients away because they're in all this pain. And here you're talking about money, and all they want to do is get out of the overwhelm. The other end of the spectrum is when you are talking about the investment and you're talking about it like way after, or maybe you don't even bring it up at all during the initial consultation. So they have no clue what it's like to work with you. You had this great consultation. You never talked about the investment, and they went and closed the conversation with you wondering, how do we get started? What's the next step? You didn't give them that information. So I just want to say, clients, they buy solutions. They do not buy services. They do not buy all the tasks and functions that you do. And they definitely don't want to rent your time. But talking about it too early might create sticker shock because they don't fully see the value in what you're offering yet, or it's not aligned with their goals and priorities. And then talking too late about it means that they might have moved on to something else and went with a different solution. So here's how it could go. How much do you charge? Asks your potential client. And the old response is, my regular rate is $125 an hour, but we can adjust it depending on what you need. So that's the old approach. I want you to reframe and use this approach. Well, let's go ahead and have a meeting. I want to be able to understand your needs. And then once I understand that, I can go ahead and share the investment for my services, because I want to make sure that it's aligned with what it is that you want to achieve and the goals that you want to reach. So that way we both know that it's a right fit. Once again, you're able to talk about the investment, but it's in a very client-centered way in this new approach. And notice how with this new alternative, it actually frames the investment as part of the solution. And it also goes ahead and positions you as the expert because you want to align it with what is top of mind for them. Okay, that is the pricing mistake. Number 2 is listening without pre-qualifying. What do I mean? Well, saying yes to every single client, whether they're a right fit for your firm or not, means that you end up being overworked. It reduces efficiency, and it also leads to you having some clients who are price sensitive. They just aren't a right fit for your firm. So I want to have you recognize that potential clients, maybe you need to be able to filter out the ones that are going to cause you headaches. They aren't the right fit for your firm before you ever meet with them, because you're a very nice person. You're very client-centered. Of course, you want to say yes to everybody, even if there's something going on in your gut feeling. So let's protect you, your team, your firm by putting up some type of pre-qualification system ahead in order to keep you from saying yes to the clients that aren't a right fit for your firm. And it could be something as easy as a couple qualifying questions they need to ask, as well as leading them into a paid diagnostic. Both of these things is going to filter out those clients who are headaches and the ones who are price sensitive. So I worked with a firm owner, and she was making about $120,000 a year in revenues. She was a solo firm, and she was very, very client-centered. She didn't like saying no. As a result, she said yes to everybody willing to pay her fees. And after we implemented that $500 diagnostic, well, it was something that actually cut her intake time in half. And she also increased her revenues by about $30,000 in 3 months. That paid diagnostic created a whole new stream of revenue, and it filtered out those low quality clients who were always a headache and they wanted so much extra without having to pay for it. So this went ahead and created a boundary, and it's especially important if you are someone who likes to please everybody and says yes to all things, even though in the back of your mind, you regret it later on. Okay, number 3 is overloading your clients with options. This leads to decision fatigue. I want to let you know, when you offer too many options, it's confusing to the clients. They don't know which one is the best choice for them. As a result of that, they postpone making a decision. They tell you they need to think about it. They'll get back to you, or else they are looking for a discount. And what you want to realize is that people buy clarity. They don't buy an overload of options. So you want to be able to simplify your packages in a way that they understand it, not by talking about all the things that you're doing for them and filling it with all those tasks and things that don't have meaning. You want to actually simplify how you talk about it, and then you want to actually help guide clients in the right direction to the option that is going to address their specific needs and concerns. And doing this actually positions you as a consultant. It defines your authority to lead them in the right direction and do what is in their best interest instead of yours. So with that being said, you may say, oh, I have 6 bookkeeping packages you can choose from. Go ahead and let's talk about every single one of them. Oh my gosh, 6 is much too many. What you want to say instead, when it comes to time of moving them forward, is here are 3 package options, and let's discuss which one is a best fit for your needs. It still is very, very client-centered. You're serving them, but you're showing them that you're going to help them choose the best option possible. So that is number 3. Let's move on to number 4, is you fail to establish your authority. Because of that, then potential clients are going to see you as technicians. They're going to totally overlook how you can help them, the consultation process, and leading to better business decisions with their business. They see you as a technician, and then that means that they're going to be always comparing you to other alternatives and also to the best price available. So clients, the majority of them, they pay for guidance, confidence. They want results. They don't want to know how many hours it took you to do something. In fact, the faster, the better from their point of view. Trust me on that one. And establishing your expertise early actually helps to build trust. They feel more connected to you. It makes them feel that you absolutely are the right choice, even though you might not be, and hopefully are not, the lowest priced. So we want to have them see you as that consultant where you're leading with your expertise instead of leading with the technical things that you do for them. And this is when a potential client, you're meeting with them at the end of the strategy session or the consultation, they're saying, well, I can find someone cheaper than that. And coming from that technician hat, you're saying, okay, let's go ahead and just adjust the rate. But if you're a consultant really stepping into your value, then your response is going to be different. You're going to say, I understand that cost is a consideration. And based on what we talked about, the challenges that you're experiencing, goals you want to achieve, my approach is going to go ahead and deliver the results you want in 3 months which is why the investment is this amount. By the way, I want to let you know, even subtle shifts in your tone impact the perceived value. So if you're not confident talking about the investment in your services, that's going to come through even if you follow my script word for word. So this is where you need to practice it so you can say it with confidence. Okay, let's go on to mistake number 5, which is the objections and not handling them with confidence. Once again, it shifts how you look at objections. Instead of them being a wall, no, don't talk to me anymore. Let's shut the conversation down because I'm not interested. It's too much, or whatever that it might be. You want to reframe how you look at objections. View them as opportunities. Get curious about them. They are not failures. And do not explain why it's that price. Why are you going in this direction? You do not have to over-explain, and do not discount your services. So 2 things that happen with objections, don't do them. Don't over-explain and don't discount your services, because either one of those actually gives the message that you are uncertain or that you have low confidence and don't really stand behind your rates and what you offer. It undermines your value and your expertise. Okay, this is how it goes. The client, that's higher than what I expected. And the original response might have been, well, I can go ahead and reduce it a little bit if needed. But what I want you to do, leading with your value, owning it, and really letting the client see that you have what it takes to move them forward is, I understand. So let's focus on the results that this investment delivers for your business. And here's how it's going to go ahead and save time. It'll reduce errors and give you the confidence in your financials. You will have everything up to date, accurate, so you can make better business decisions going forward. That is how to start handling objections with confidence. It shows you are in control, and also that your services are worth the full price of the investment. So once again, view your service as an investment, not a cost. It positions you as an expert. It means that you're leading with confidence and get comfortable being able to respond to those objections. Okay, the thing to think about with all 5 of these mistakes is that consultations are very, very transactional in the traditional way. We want to change that. That is not in anybody's best interest. What we want to look at them is being your first opportunity to go ahead and filter clients so you're engaging the right clients. It's about establishing value and setting boundaries, because both of you benefit when there are very, very clear boundaries and expectations. So this means pre-qualifying the leads, going ahead and listening strategically to what they have to say and aligning your services with the solutions that you offer. Simplifying the options. Do not give them the whole full 20 options available. We want to focus on just a couple so that they have choices that don't overwhelm them. Position yourself as an expert and go ahead and get comfortable handling those objections. That in itself is a game changer. But the main thing is avoid these 5 mistakes. I just told you what they are. You're probably doing at least one of them. Which one is it that you want to work on right now? And by doing this, avoiding these 5 mistakes, you're going to protect your time. You're going to reduce your workload. You are going to engage quality clients who are happy to pay your fees because they see you as an investment. So once again, this is a strategic approach to the consultation and onboarding process. And by doing this, it moves you closer to having those profitable clients who respect you. They are not price sensitive, and also they do not drain your energy. They lift you up instead of wear you down. So I want to know what it is that you took away from this by shifting. What did this validate? What are you going to work on? Where do you need more information? Please let me know what's coming up for you. I would love to be able to hear what you took away from this. Anyway, if this is something that resonated with you, I would look forward to having a further conversation about how to be able to implement this sooner than later. You can let me know that you're interested in a further conversation by going to businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk to get that started. And I'm Lauren Fogelman, with Business Success Solution, showing accounting firm owners on how to be able to double their revenues, working half the time.